Pride is the devil. Let me say it once again, y'all. Louder for my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family. Pride is the devil. A lot of us allow pride to get in our way. Okay? Pride keeps the sick sick. Pride keeps the poor poor. Pride will keep a person knowing that they need help from getting the help that they need. Pride, right? So I say all this to say that, y'all, pride comes before fall. And so in this video, we're going to speak about 5 men who fell in the Bible, right? And one of them is a spirit, but y'all will get what I'm saying, okay? But understand something, y'all. 5 individuals who failed from pride. All right. And so with that being said, y'all, before we do so, y'all make sure y'all leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. And not only that, y'all be sure to ring my bell so y'all can get my notifications. Now, moving forward, y'all, one of the first individuals who fell in the Bible was Lucifer. Okay. Now, before I get into this, y'all, let's read a little bit about Lucifer. Okay. So Lucifer was once an angel in heaven. Lucifer fell from grace because of his pride, right? He believed he was superior to God and worthy of greater glory than any other angel. Pride at its finest. Pride comes before fall. Right. And so what happened was, y'all, Lucifer, which means that, because Lucifer was a cherub, right? He was one of the most powerful angels. He was over all the music. He was over entertainment. He was one of the most beautiful angels. But that angel had pride. How many of y'all know somebody who got pride, right? It can even be yourself, y'all. This is our moment of truth. This is not, I don't got pride. Listen, y'all, I struggle and fight pride every day. Right? I struggle and fight pride every day. So with that being said, y'all, this is the moment of truth. Y'all drop in the comments and let me know if you know somebody or if it's you, right? But the point is, y'all, Lucifer was the first individual who showed his pride. And once he showed his pride, he fell. So right here, y'all, in Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12 through 15, it says this right here, family. How you are falling from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. How you are cut down to the ground, you who weaken the nations. For you have said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. And then it goes further to say, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit on the mount of the congregation on the farthest sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet you shall be brought down to Sheol, to the lowest depths of the pit, right? See, God wasn't having it. He went ahead and got him out of there because, see, God understood something, right? And he created all of us, so obviously he knew. But whenever you have a person who has pride, you have somebody who's stubborn, okay? When you have somebody who feel like, they are entitled, okay, to somebody's success or entitled, to what somebody else have, you also have a person who's jealous, right? And so he got him up out of there quick. That's why he casted him out of heaven, okay? You will fall down to the lowest depth of the pits. You're no longer welcome up here in heaven, y'all. So understand something. Pride comes before fall, and pride is the devil, right? And so that was all strategically done, y'all. I put that number 1 because the devil started this, okay? Now, moving forward, y'all. And by the way, for those who don't know, Lucifer is the devil, right? That was his angel name before he changed his name, okay, or formed himself into Satan the devil, all right? So just a little Bible 101 for y'all. Moving on to the next one. Number 2, King Saul. King Saul, he was another one, y'all. Let's see what it says right here, y'all, about King Saul. So King Saul was the first king of Israel, was given a great gift by God, right? The power to defeat his enemies. However, his pride led to disaster, and he was eventually rejected by God, right? How many of y'all know that, that one person who's talented, right? That one person who has a gift, that one person who is anointed, right? Okay, and that one person who has, something special about them, but they just got that pride, and that pride is going to come before their fall. Like, you see them have so much potential, but they are on the pathway to destruction. They are on the pathway to their pride, and you know what's right there on the pathway to pride? It's a big old pit hole, y'all, waiting on them to fall deep into it, in the lowest pits, y'all. The lowest pits. How many of y'all know that person, right? Like, I know a lot of people, y'all, who have pride. They can be so much more further, or they can be so much, far in life, only if they listen to somebody and stop thinking that they know everything. See, one thing I like about Socrates, y'all, is that Socrates said, all I know is I know nothing. Right? Let me say it once again, y'all. Socrates said that all I know is that I know nothing. Meaning, when we think that we have it all figured out, when we think that there's nothing else for us to learn, when we think that, I think I got it all, right? When we begin to feel like that, that is the moment that we have that awakening and that realization that, ooh, you don't know nothing, right? Like, you don't know nothing, y'all. And so what I'm saying is, y'all, we are learning every day. But see, these particular individuals who have pride, they will fall, right? They're too proud of themselves, think too highly of themselves, too conceited, right? Braggadocious, okay? Very boastful, right? And so with getting back to King Saul, y'all, King Saul, was a man who was anointed by God, right? He was very well anointed. But the thing is, he didn't like when David came along. He thought that it should only be him on the throne. He didn't like the fact that David was going to come behind him. He didn't like that, y'all. He had too much pride, right? And so that pride led to God rejecting him in the future, right? Understand something, y'all. If you don't check your pride, God will reject it. Okay, if you don't check your pride, God will reject you. And so with that being said, y'all, understand something. King Saul was another one who fell down. Okay, and so here's the scripture, y'all, about King Saul. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 22 through 23. It says, so Samuel said, has the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice. Somebody drop that in the comments, y'all. To obey is better than sacrifice. All right. Then it goes on to say, and to heed than the fat of rams, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. So to be rebellious, y'all, is almost equivalent to witchcraft, according to the scripture, y'all. And then it says, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry, because you have rejected the word of the Lord. He also has rejected you from being king, right? And so that was the consequence of Saul, King Saul, who was so prideful and stubborn, right? God rejected him, okay? And so that's the same thing with anybody else. Those who have pride, y'all, understand that it's the devil and you will be rejected, all right? Moving on to the next one, y'all. Number 3, Pharaoh. It was another man, who fell, right? So far, y'all, we have an angel and we have 2 men that fell from pride, right? Pharaoh, he was another one, y'all. With Pharaoh thought that there was no God that was greater than him. He thought that he was God. He thought that, you come to me and bow down, right? It's my way or the highway. Pharaoh is God. That was his mindset, okay? Until Moses came, letting him know that, hey, my God said, let his people go. And so when Pharaoh realized that he wasn't joking, he was serious, he said, you know what? I'm going to still stand on business. I am God, and I don't care what God that you serve. Understand something. I don't care what he talking about. These are my slaves. These are my people, and I'm not moving off of my throne for nobody. Well, that kind of went left real quick, y'all. God sent those 10 plagues, okay? Lice, frogs, the water turning into blood. I mean, it was multiple other plagues, y'all. But the plague that broke the camel's back, or the straw that broke the camel's back, was the death of his firstborn son. That's what really got his mind, right? That's what really got his attention. Like, oh, your God is real. Yeah, he real, right? He real and he's not playing. Okay. And so you have to understand that Pharaoh was stubborn. Pharaoh was very stubborn, y'all. And he thought that he was God. But a lot of times, y'all, these kings, they let their power get to their head and they don't realize that God is the one who granted them the power. God can give it and he can take it. Okay. And so what you have to realize is, y'all, pride, once again, it comes before fall. Right. And Pharaoh is another man who had to experience that, and it even goes further, y'all, to where, when he finally said, go ahead, take him. When Moses got to the water, right? You know, Pharaoh is sitting there and he like, man, he thought about it. He like, no, man, I'm finna go handle that, right? And so he had all his men, you know, on horses and carriages, and he chased Moses down. And that's when God parted the Red Sea. And once God parted the Red Sea, and once Moses parted the Red Sea, Pharaoh sent these men to their demise, including himself. All right? Let me say that once again, y'all. Pride can kill you. All right? See, Pharaoh, he was so prideful, he couldn't stand the fact that you just came in here and robbed me of my people. And so when he planted that stick inside the Red Sea, Pharaoh and his men were led to their demise. They was following a blind leader. They was following a blind leader. And so what I want y'all to realize is, again, y'all, pride comes before fall. Okay? Pride is the devil. Moving on to the next one, y'all. Number 4, Nebuchadnezzar. Right? Nebuchadnezzar, okay? And so Nebuchadnezzar was the king, you know, when Daniel was the prophet that was being used. And that's when Daniel, you know, had to let him know, like, hey, man, my God is real. And so that's when they threw Daniel into that pit, you know, with their lion. He didn't get touched. They threw Daniel into that fire, that furnace, and he didn't get burned, right? Daniel was powerful because he was utilizing the power of God. He was a prophet. And when God want to use you, he will. But it goes further, y'all, to say this about Nebuchadnezzar as well. It says that he was a Babylonian king, was known for his conquering ways and his extremely proud of his accomplishments. And he was extremely proud of his accomplishments. However, his pride eventually led to his downfall, right? So you have to understand something, y'all. It's okay with being proud, you know, of your accomplishments. It's okay with being proud of the things that you have achieved, but it's not okay to have pride, right? It's not okay to be conceited, to feel like I'm the one who did this. I did that. Because honestly, y'all, without God, you can't do anything. And so with that being said, y'all, Nebuchadnezzar was another one, right? They allowed his pride to bring him down. Simple as that, y'all. And so right here in Daniel chapter 4, verse 37, it says this right here, y'all. Now, I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the King of heaven, all of those who works are truth, his ways justice, and those who walk in pride, he is able to put down, right? And so right here, y'all, in Daniel chapter 4, verse 37, it says, now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the King of heaven, all of whose works are truth and his ways justice. And those who walk in pride, he is able to put down. He had to bow down, right? After he seen the work of Daniel, or after he seen the work of God through Daniel, he had to bow down, right? So understand that, y'all. That was that pride. You know, when I think of pride, y'all, when I think of the movie Titanic, right? Those people was very prideful. I'm not saying the people on the boat, but the people who built the boat, the captains of the ship, you know, the people who had the power over their boat. Because in the movie, y'all, I never forget, it said that one of the guys said, not even God can sink this ship, right? Well, later on, that ship sunk. Okay, and so that was a lot of pride. Now, if that's how the movie portrayed it, who knows if it was true or false? But from the movie, y'all, that's what they said. You know, not even God can sink this ship. The ship actually, you know, sunk, right? And so with that being said, y'all, that's another, you know, example of pride, right? And so with that being said, y'all, you know, Nebuchadnezzar was another one. His pride led to his fall. Simple as that, y'all. Okay, and so moving on to the next one, y'all. Number 5, which is the last one, and that's going to be Herod, right? Herod. And so Herod, let's speak about him for a second. And so it says this right here, y'all, about Herod. It says that he was so vain that he accepted the people's worship as if he were a god, right? As a result, he was struck down by an angel of the Lord and died, right? I don't think y'all understand that. You know, he was accepting the people's, you know, idolatry, right? And so you really can't blame the people, because if somebody withhold the keys to your success, If somebody withhold the keys to, your comfortability, right, especially in those times, they had so much power that they can come inside your house and kill you and crucify you and decapitate you just because you didn't say hey to the king, right? So, of course, right? And so what he was doing was he was accepting their worship, and he wasn't supposed to accept their worship. He began to think that he was a god. Well, this is what happened to Herod, y'all. In Acts chapter 12, verse 21 through 23, it says this right here, y'all. On the appointed day, Herod, wearing his royal robes, sat on his throne and delivered a public address to the people. They shouted, "This is the voice of God, not of a man." Immediately, because Herod did not give praise to God, an angel of the Lord struck him down, and he was eaten by worms and died, right? Power of God, y'all. Ain't that nice? Understand something, y'all. Pride is the devil, right? He was so prideful. He didn't even allow himself to bow down to God, to praise God. And therefore, that led to his demise. And so, the reason why I bring up all these men, y'all, Lucifer, which was an angel, King Saul, a man, Pharaoh, a man, Nebuchadnezzar, a man, Herod, a man, is because they all have something in common. And that common or that similarity was their pride, right? And all of them ended up falling, okay? And so once again, y'all, be mindful of your pride. Check your pride, right? Check your pride. I'll give y'all this one last thing before I get up out of here, right? Y'all, I had an auntie, y'all, that helped me out financially, at one point in my life. And so in that particular time, y'all, I actually needed it, right? Like, I reached out to her. I didn't know how much money she was going to give me or anything like that, but I just needed some financial help. I came, across a rut, right? And so with that being said, she looked out for me. And it wasn't that she was looking for something in return or looking for me to do something back. It wasn't even nothing like that. It was all genuine, to be honest, right? And so with that being said, time kind of progressed. And so this is how pride creeps back in. So, I haven't heard anything from her, probably for like 2 months, 3 months, because, people are busy, stuff like that. Like, I'm always busy. And so what happened was, y'all, in my mind, it was like, give your auntie a call, just check up on her. And so here's pride. Pride says she ain't check up on me. She ain't call me. So why I'm gonna call her? I ain't calling nobody who ain't calling me. Well, this is why I had to check my pride, y'all. I said, did you have pride whenever you call her and ask for some help? No, like, we don't like to be real with ourselves. Did you have pride when you call her and ask for the help? Right? So why are you having pride right now? Call and check on your auntie, man. Call and check on your auntie. And so I had to check myself. I checked myself, y'all. And so we all struggle with pride every day. We all fight with pride every day. We all do. And so it's about taking accountability and responsibility for it. Understand something, y'all. We are imperfect beings and we all gonna fight with that pride. But I need y'all to realize something. Pride is the devil, all right? And so with that being said, y'all, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Y'all make sure y'all check out any one of my books in my description. And also be sure to enroll into my social influence course. All right? I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Y'all keep a rich mentality. Peace.